Just bear with Dave. He hasn't made up his mind yet if he's Elton John or Ian Fleming. Talk about rock stars and cover bands that become spies, and he didn't know which way to take it. But anyhow, I do have another book in the Roadhouse Sun series that is out and already available. And this is book 4. It's called Codename Wanderer. And I actually have sold all of the copies that I had available with me. So we're just going to have to, trust me that there is really a Codename Wanderer, which is also available from the same sources I mentioned earlier. In my opinion, Codename Wanderer is the best one of the series. Yes, Dangerous Gambles was my favorite one because that was the first one. That's where I'm introducing everything and it's all exciting and new. Codename Wanderer is where things really step up a notch. The band took a bit of a hiatus following their adventures in Seattle. And all of a sudden, they're being asked to reform again, come out of retirement. Lots of Blues Brothers references to this, by the way. The reason they're asked to come out of retirement and get the band started again is they are actually very popular over in Europe and East Germany and places like that where they couldn't get the American big bands, like AC/DC, Aerosmith, Kiss. They couldn't get those, but they could get the bootleg copies of cover bands. And so the Roadhouse Sons are very popular over in Eastern Europe. So they think this will help out because they have to help smuggle somebody across the Berlin Wall. That was quite interesting as to how I was going to deal with it. I've been to East Berlin. I've been to West Berlin. I've had a fellow whose father-in-law became a general in the Stasi, which is the East German secret police, 2 weeks before the wall came down. He was my tour guide and took me around to a lot of places and showed me what things were like over there. And it was really, really fascinating. It kind of addresses all of the tensions of living in one city that geographically is surrounded by another country, but ideologically, the other country is surrounded by that part of a city. How people deal with it and how getting from point A to point B, which we take for granted, actually over there can be a major production with serious consequences if you put a foot wrong. So if you really want something that can be a bit of a nail biter, and I think this one is, check out Codename Wanderer. In fact, the very name hints at the East German secret police because they were convinced that anybody interested in rock and roll, in punk rock, or anything like that was a subversive and a deviant and needed to be monitored closely. And so the program that they had to take care of all this was called Codename Wanderer. And in it, I also make reference to Ernst Strumpf, an East German band that would phonetically copy songs from like the Rolling Stones and the Beatles and things like that and sing them. And they were people that the East German government really wanted to target. And so when they got called in and they found out that they didn't have a license, they said, "Are we being suppressed? Are we being arrested?" And the government secretary said, "No, you just simply don't exist anymore." And the irony was that later on they would become extremely popular and the East German government just didn't exist anymore. So that was really something. This was quite an adventure, honing my craft with, this series of books. And like I said, Book 5, Crumbling Down, is hopefully going to be coming out by the end of this year. So I'll keep you all posted. In the meantime, check these books out. Leave me some reviews. Send me some messages. get on my Facebook page, get on my website, send me a tweet, and let's give these guys a really cool reunion tour.